Hi, welcome back to a new tutorial part to build an e-bike. Today we want to finish this rental here. So last time we did that here, and I see that is not fixed together, so I delete that here and I give you the screencast keys, but you don't need that to do. So I give them an E, extrude, scale them up to that size, Control R, make a loop in, scale up, Control B to bevel, and roll the middle mouse. And then you have such like that, and you give them a smooth. And all should be fine. Smooth it. Good. We have done that. Now we want to make here from the screw this part. So for that we need here add mesh a cube, scale down, scale in the X. Now such a thing is on the down part brighter than at the front, so we go here and scale set, so we have that is correct. And now we want to bevel the top one and maybe the down one, so we click here on edge selection and get here a bevel in. Control B, move that thing and roll the middle mouse. So we got that. So we make it a little bit longer, I think, because it must turn around the whole screw there. So I think 4 times the screw thickness should be enough. Then this whole thing needs a turn. So we set here the origin to geometry. Shift D, make a copy of that. Here we apply the rotation and the scale in a moment. Then we give them here an array, but not in this direction. So we take here 0 and take here 1. So we go over there. And then we must give them here, I don't know how many can that be. I would say 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We try 12. Okay. But it must be turned. I told it before, so we rotate that on the Y. But then you see we got this effect, and that is not what we want. So we take that here and apply again the rotation on the scale. Now we have that. Now we must control that that comes together, such like that. And when we now bake that as a texture, then we got this look like it is a screw. But I see here that is too big for me, so I think we go here and make that smaller and longer in that direction. So we get here the local axis, and then we need to drag them here and this one here, so we can go back to global axis. Maybe it can be, yeah, we see it more out, so we go from top and take this one here and bring that more to the outside. This can be more here, such like that. Good, that's better. That's good for me. Good. We now want to make that as a normal. So Shift D, we bring that to the side. Then we go here and apply the array modifier. Then we set the origin to geometry and apply the rotation scale of the new object. This is now one object, and that we want to bake. So for doing that, we need here add mesh plane, rotate X 90 degrees, and on this plane we make this material, bake there. And now we must look that we only get what we want there. So we must check with set that we get the same line that it starts where it ends. That is a little bit complicated in this turn, so we make it greater that we have all on, so we can adjust this with the UV later. Good. We bring that in front. Good. Then we go edit mode and give here U an unwrap. Give them a material. We call it plane bake 3. Then we need to make here a new UV picture. So we go into new. We want to that resolution. We call it bake normal screw. So it can be an alpha, that is okay, blank is okay, okay. So we see the little star, so we have to save that before, so save as. We go under our texture folder, and there we give them a PNG, it's correct, with alpha channel, with a color depth of 16, and save. Good. Now that other one that we want to bake needs a material, and then we call it screw steps. Good. Screw steps we have. Then we need here to make an unwrap 2. I must look how it looks. That is wrong. So we need here from view. Yeah, that's better. And scale it up that it fits here better with that whole size. Okay, that's good for now. Then we have built this UV here. They must be in the nodes of each of them. So here in this plane bake, we need a node add texture, image texture. Then we open our made UV here, bake normal screw PNG, and it must be active, so it must be yellow lined up. Then the other one, the screw steps, there we make the same. We add texture, image texture, and give them this normal map to this UV map. It must be active, so it is active. Good. Then we have first to select the steps and then the plane with hold shift. And then we can go here on the rendering, you know it, to bake. We want to bake, we want a normal, that's correct. We want no margin between them. And select to active must be on, and then we can bake that. So sorry for the disturbing. But yeah, my computer crashed, so I must start from here new. I don't have that, but I have the UV, so we can make there on. So then I must look now. We have the silver rough, and we need some with this things in. So we go to silver rough and give them here at the 9 click. So we have silver rough 001. This is a special one, so we can give them other materials like the rest. So for that we need now our normal map on the silver to place that there and there. So how we do that, we go in the node editor, we have them here, and then we add input the texture coordinates. Then we need here vector, the mapping for the texture. We connect UV with the vector. Then we need the image itself, the normal map that we baked there. So we add texture, image texture. We connect vector with vector. Then we need the normal map itself. So vector normal map. We place it here. Then we connect color with color and normal with normal. You see it changed here and here. Why we don't see anything? Because we haven't not the image in. So we open, we have it in our texture folders, and there is it that we bake. And now you see here it has this effect that we want. Here we need to give them the UV map, and then we can take the two things that we want to have with this screw types on. There's that here. So we apply here that rough silver stuff, and the rest of them becomes later an other. So we have assigned that to these two places. We have to unwrap them. Now we see here in the UV image editor, that is the UV image editor, and you see here the unwrap, and it is round. We don't want it round, we want it like straight lines. So you need this add-on UV squares. You can download that for Blender, and then it is under MISC, then here in the UV image editor, and then you can say snap to X or Y axis, and then he makes that straight. So we don't have that problem that they are round, and we can't handle that as well. So here's the same. Place it there, and down here too. Okay. So now we must handle where it should shown. So we go to our normal map, bake normal screw. That normally must be it, yeah. And now we must tweak it that it fits. So we scale here, we go here to that and scale in the X, and we see there, we see some, so we scale in the Y and then grab it and scale in the X again, scale in the Y again, and now you see it comes. That is our screw material, but you see it don't fits at the behind, so we must scale in the X so that it puts together, and then we have it. That is how it should look. At the same we make now here at the top. grab. Here we must look a little bit correct. So we scale it in the X, we scale it in the Y. That isn't correct, so scale X. Think that is rotated in the wrong direction, so rotate X 90. Rotate X 90. Scale up or scale down. We must try that, what we find. Think it was right one, so rotate X 90. Scale Y. Yeah, there we have it. Then we looked as we close that with scale X. That was too less, that is too much. Such between them. Scale Y. Scale X. We must bring it greater. Yep. Scale X. Yep. So we have closed that. And here the little one we let like it is. We file save that and then we render that and preview. And you see that looks like real screw. But here we must scale a little, I see that. So we go here again and scale that then. We go in render mode and scale Y. That is too fine. That is not rough enough. That is more like it. That comes near. Yep. And then we have it. Good. So we have that and this part here too. So we only need the middle part there, and that we make make two. This one and this one we must make now. So we go file save first, and we want to make a simple vector. So we only make here some primitive. Add mesh cube, scale down. Then we take the front face and scale them and bring them back. Then we bevel the edges of them. So we take PC lags again. Hope it will not crash. Okay. Good, we try it again. This edges here we bevel. That gives a better result by the baking. Move the middle mouse, Control B to bevel, roll the middle mouse button to get the bevel on. So we have that, and that should be our our normal layer. So we can make it a little bit smaller, I think. So with background selection we select here the inner parts and scale them down such like that. That is a good one. So we need again here, we must unwrap that. So we look from the behind, and there we take face selection, and then we delete the face, so X. Only faces, then it is gone. Then we take this whole back line and UV shading, we set the seam there that you can cut off there, and we can also take here in the middle one mark seam, and then normally through that we can mark seam, but I'll add that in a moment like it is. We can mark that one and that one. That is okay. Now we go select all, U to unwrap. We'll see what we got. That is that one here, and that it looks not fine at all. So we must find another way to do that. So we try U unwrap from view. That is better. Scale up, grabbing and positioning is a little bit straight, but it's okay. Good. So we have here unwrap from view bounds, so we have the correct one. Now we need there a plane, so add mesh plane, rotate X 90 degrees, scale down, give them an mark seam 2 and an unwrap from view bounds 2. So it has an unwrap, it needs a material, so new, we give them the plane material, but on a number, so plane, we call the material plane 2. Then this here we call raster 1. So we have two materials. We must be sure behind that object. So that looks good. Then we need the node editor, and we have here the plane material. In the plane material we need then this texture. So we give here texture, image texture. Then we have to make here a new one for our normal map. So we give here an X to delete that, and give here a new to get a new one. We call them raster 1 with this resolution here with alpha and blank, and say OK. We see again here this little star, so we say save as, and raster PNG, that is okay, with 16 color depth, and save that. Good. Now we need to give the plane this material to bake, where he should bake. So it is this raster 1, we give that to them, and be sure that it's clicked on, and that is yellow line. Then we go to our raster. There we have the raster material, and here we need this image too. So we give them texture, image texture, and our black raster PNG file. Good. Be sure that it's clicked on. Then we first click the raster, then the plane with hold the shift. Then we go here to the bake option, but before we do that, we have to apply the rotation scale of the object. So apply rotation scale, and it should have the geometry as an origin. Good. Then mark the raster, mark the plane, and then click on bake. We have here a normal, and select to active is important. I said that before. And then we click on bake, and then we see here what we get. That is exactly what we want. So image, save as image, and give them this name. That is okay, save. So we have that. So we can move this both to layer 3 we give them, because layer 2 there is too much on. So now we want to put it onto our ventil, and here we need then another material for that, so we give a plus and new and say give it a name. We call it raster silver, and it can be a little bit rough, but we will tweak that all later. Good. We have the basic material here. So we give them the principal shader, we give them a 1 for metallic. So we have that. We give them a little roughness. So that. Then we give them here this normal that we baked. So we bring it down there. And we need the same as we did before, so we can go to the silver rough material 001 and copy this part. So that means with A we deselect all, then we get B to border select. With left holded mouse button you can make that, and now Control C to copy. Then we go to the raster silver material and Control V, and you can put it in. And then we connect the normal with the normal, and then we have our raster material on. When we change here to the raster material, that is important. We copied that, and there is the screw alpha in, normal in. So we open here and give now this raster PNG, and now you see it appears there, but we have to put it on there. So we get this line and make UV unwrap. We have the same as round, so we need the UV square add-on to snap to the axis. Then it is smaller. When we now scale it, then you should see that the raster material appears there. We must check is there all in the right position with vector. Is it 1? That is good. We scale in the Y, grabbing, scale Y, and then scale in the hole. So we got that here, and that is too much in the moment, so we scale more. A little bit too much, I think, so we scale it in the other direction. That is a little bit greater, but not as much. And then we try to scale it in the Y. So we got that. Yeah, that looks good. And we want to invert that because that looks out and we want that it looks in. So we give here a -1. Oh, it was the wrong one, sorry. We have to, how should I say it, to invert that. So add color invert, and we plug that on. But between these two. So give here a connection, and then we go here between. That should invert it, but it don't make sense at the moment, so we let that like it is and we don't wonder. Okay, so we got that. Normally that must work, but I don't know why it don't work now. But before we make here 1000 hours for this shit, so we make it short and give them that one. So unwrap here, and we take the UV squares to make it brighter, lighter, and scale them down to the same size as this one. So scale, things such as that can be good, and we can grab it. So we have that, and that is now our ventil. So we make file save, and we done that. So we look in the render preview, and that will, with the right light and the correct tweak, that will look very good. Good, we have that. You can play around here with the strengths if you want to get it harder or less hard, then you get that. So we go here and say the object apply rotation scale and set the origin to the geometry. Then we delete this picture, we don't need it anymore. We bring that here to the 5th layer. So M to move, click on the 5th, then we go to the 5th. And you know it hopefully. With Shift C you bring that 3D cursor in the middle. Shift C. Then we want to get our object to this 3D cursor. So we press Alt G, and then it jumps to it. Now we want to make a group of it, so Control G to give a group name, and we call it Ventile. So return, we go to first layer and place it here as an instance. So add group instance, and we have there the Ventile. Here it is, and we can make here this axis smaller, and that is good. Good. Then we file save that, and I counted that chain. There are 114 of them, and yeah, to make that we will make the next part of the tutorial. So see you in the next tutorial. Bye.